Well, Five on Your Side is celebrating 75 years in St. Louis. All year long, we're taking a look back at the people and the institutions that have shaped the city.
Political editor Mark Maxwell shows us the important role that Washington University has played in presidential politics.
Perhaps it's fitting that a university named after our nation's first president would host more presidential debates than any other forum in our country's history. WashU's first time building that grandest stage in our nation's political spotlight came 30 years ago, when a then up-and-coming Arkansas Democrat was taking on an incumbent president and the patriarch of a modern political dynasty.
And I can say to George Bush, meet me in St. Louis.
Hillary Clinton's first time on a presidential debate stage came in St. Louis during her husband's rehearsal. Bill Clinton taking on incumbent George H.W. Bush, and for the first time ever, a third podium in a televised presidential debate.
If there's a fairer way, I'm all ears.
Businessman Ross Perot delivered memorable one-liners, but the bigger feat than a third-party candidate appearing on stage was that there was a stage at all.
The debates have already had a strong economic impact on the St. Louis area.
The debate commission scrambled to find a new venue when its first host backed out with just 1 week's notice.
Back in 1992, when we did this for the first time, the technology was payphones.
As the dot-com era ushered in new generations of technology, Republicans nominated the next generation in the Bush family. George W. Bush debated Al Gore at WashU in 2000 and returned again to take on John Kerry 4 years later. Then, in 2008, the undercard featured a pair of unpredictable public speakers to the vice presidential debate when Sarah Palin tried this to disarm Joe Biden.
Hey, can I call you Joe?
In 2016, WashU built the stage again, but the now infamous Hollywood Access tapes built the buzz for one of the most highly anticipated debates in presidential campaign history. More than 66 million Americans would tune in to see how Donald Trump might explain his lewd comments about women.
Yes, I'm very embarrassed by it. I hate it, but it's locker room talk, and it's one of those things.
And Hillary Clinton apologized for storing State Department emails on her personal server.
That was a mistake, and I take responsibility for using a personal email account. Obviously, if I were to do it over again, I would not.
And Trump shattered centuries of presidential restraint, threatening to use presidential pressure to instigate a criminal investigation into his political opponent.
But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation.
While WashU has a proud history advancing debate, the future of presidential debates is now uncertain. The Republican National Committee just voted unanimously to pull out of the Bipartisan Commission on Presidential Debates going into 2024. And a surprising number of down-ballot races, candidates running for seats in the House or the Senate, have dodged the debate stage altogether in these 2022 midterms. As political parties retreat away from middle ground toward the polarizing partisan corners of our country, a word of wisdom from our nation's founding father. George Washington left to us those parting warnings of a friend in his farewell address, warning against the baneful effects of the spirit of party over country. Washington knew, as we all should, to value unity, understanding, and debate and reason over division and disagreement just for its own sake.
Well, again, and our anniversary coverage continues online. You can find all kinds of fun facts and historic footage at ksdk.com/75.